Alright. So, oh wait. It's time for Tubi Tuesday. Okay, so, welcome to Tubi Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock in the freaking morning. I'm gonna get this out, okay? So, a couple of things I want to talk about first, okay? Um, so I'm surprised no one's mentioned this. Maybe his following isn't like that far, but so when I came up with Tubi Tuesday, I did it on my own. I did not take any inspiration from anything. I just thought, there's some cool movies on Tubi. I might as well, dedicate a day to it. Tuesday works. Let's do it. The reason I mention this is I was searching for reviews for this movie I'm reviewing, Doll Murder Spree, which I actually caught on to from another YouTube channel, Bloodbath and Beyond, because NXT wrestler Shotzi Blackheart is in this movie. This is pre-NXT, of course. And I'm a guy, I have a thing for, and I was lured to this movie with the promise of titties. And let me tell you, they did not disappoint. But after I watched the movie, I searched for reviews, as I often do with the movies I watch. And I came across this other YouTube channel called, hold on, Bad Movie Night. And I noticed he's doing a series called Tubi Tuesday. He probably started it before I did. I just want you to know I'm not ripping him off. I didn't realize that someone else was doing this until now. It's not really copyrighted, so, this is just the way I do things. Also, Tony from Hack the Movies is also kind of copying both of us in a way, but he spells it differently, and he also goes YouTube movies as well, but I'm only going from Tubi itself. But anyway, let's talk about this movie. It's a very cheap indie horror film, and about this group of college-age students who are invited to this house that has some sort of it's haunted or something, and this professor of theirs invites them there to study the paranormal activity within the house. First thing you want to know is they reference horror movies in this film, like, completely, like, mostly like Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. Like, they reference, like straight on reference Nightmare on Elm Street. There's like, he's like, we're gonna monitor all the paranormal activity, and someone's like, well, rather, and give us nightmares or something, you know what I mean? And then there's talk about the remake of House of Wax and stuff like that. And so there's a twist in this film that I figured out from one singular scene. This movie is 55 minutes long. It's not that long. And so I'll get to the twist when it shows itself, but I figured it out quickly, and then was proven right. But so the house, and it's shown that there's one of them, Sam, who's always late for everything. He never shows up for class or whatever. Shotzi and her boyfriend in the movie, they're having problems, I guess. There's a scene the very next day after they're told what's going on that she's standing around in her underwear. Maybe it's the same. It's supposed to be later that night, I think. Like, it's supposed to be night, right? But the door's wide open. You can see light coming through it. So I don't know. So yeah, and then she's like yelling at her boyfriend for having the door open, and then she's like, I'm gonna go, like, she's like, and he's like, well, they're gonna come over, so I didn't see the point. So she shuts the door. She shuts the door. It's like a knock or a doorbell. He's like, see, I told you. And then they're like, oh, what's up, sexy? And he's like, oh, hey. She's like, I'm gonna go with some clothes on. She gets clothes on. She comes out, and they start talking about horror movies. So she's like, I'm gonna go to sleep. You just got dressed. Why were you in your underwear if you weren't sleeping already? I don't understand. But then it ends up being this is nighttime for some reason, and then the next day they go to the house, right, and they get told the story. Well, this guy years ago got drunk. He came home. He had these children who were deformed, I guess, and he came home and he chopped up his wife, he chopped up his kids, and then he blew his head off. And that's the story we get. So then they start to explore the house. The professor guy brings someone who's supposedly like a psychic, and they imply that they're gonna do seance, and really he's gonna fuck her, But then they showed him asleep, so nothing really happened. But then he got, they're separating everything. You got Shotzi and boyfriend. They separate. And she's like, I've had enough of you. I'm breaking up with you. We're done. And he's like, fine, then we're done. And she's like, no, I say when we're done. And she pushes him down. She gets on top of him. She takes her top off. And we see them titties. And she has heart-shaped areolas. That is just too cute. That is just too cute. But yes, we see them titties. Which is, well, that's a dream come true for me, I guess. Something you see. You see an actress or something you got a thing for. You're like, I want to see her topless at least once. And if it's just the only time I see her topless, that's fine. She has red hair here, which was with the green hair, but I'm not happy. But here's the thing, okay? Fucking Tubi ads, all right? There's no ad. Like, this movie starts, and for the first, up to this point, there's been no ads. As soon as she gets on top of them, it says ad in 5. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding. Or ad will start in 5. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And just as she goes to take it off, the ad pops up. I'm like, son of a bitch. Fucking. Ugh. That pissed me off. I was like, fucking really? Tubi ads. And when it came back, you can see it, but I rewound it so I could see the whole thing. Because you gotta get the whole scene of her taking it off. And I was able to see it, and that's fine. I spent too much time on this. But anyway, the murders start when the black guy, because the whole thing, black guy dies first, and there's actually, the beginning of this film actually has a black guy, African American, whatever, robbing the place, and he dies, and this guy, he dies with a little axe thing. Woman with this annoying laugh, whatever she does, she kills him. Other guy goes into the bathroom, this Sam, and is amazed at the fact that it flushes. Like, the toilet flushed and the water's running. It's supposed to be an abandoned house. Okay, but I guess, I don't know. It's supposed to be a hint that there's someone still living there, I guess. And he gets knocked out. And then the other girl, not Shotzi, but the other one, she's walking around on her own or whatever. And the psychic lady finds the professor's dead body. And this was another clue something's going on here, because they cut away from all the kills, but you see them physically attacking the protagonist when it happens. Here, you just see someone walking over him. He's looking up and going, and then it cuts. There's a hint. But something happened. There's blood or something. Who knows? And she freaks out. And she's like, oh, he's dead, he's dead. And then they're being chased around by another. There's a guy and there's a girl and chasing them around. And long story here, Shotzi's friend gets killed. The sidekick gets killed. Boyfriend gets killed. All these are kind of cutaways, nothing spectacular. It's down to Shotzi and Sam. Okay, so there's a scene where the psychic lady, who's not really psychic, she finds Sam who's unconscious. He wakes up and she's holding his mouth shut so he doesn't say anything. And then there's the best friend chick is getting killed in a different room. I'm assuming it's supposed to be down the hallway. And he's moving, he's ready to make, and he's going, she's like, shh, go. And he keeps cutting back and forth as she's killing this chick. And I'm like, you're in a different room, down the hallway. She's busy killing someone else. She's not gonna fucking hear you. Why do you keep covering his mouth? And eventually, she dies. He gets knocked unconscious. And then we have Shotzi fighting the guy, I think, or the chick or whatever, someone. The guy, I think. It stabs her in the back and kills her. And then we get someone walking over her, and it's the professor, and he goes, oh, you passed with flying colors. Especially red. Nancy. And so he sort of explains that those are his brother and sister, and he's one of the deformed kids, only he's not deformed. So did he get plastic surgery to fit in? Understand. He's like, you need to figure out who I am. I'm like, okay. So he's in on this, which I figured out when he says, you got a special credit, you don't have to come. I'll go ahead and pass you. You don't have to come. And I'm like, there's something with him. He likes her, doesn't want her to die. But also doesn't feel remorse. And like I said, there's also the scene where it looks like he's going to get attacked. We don't see anything. No physical interaction between the two. He just cuts. And he's behind the whole thing. I actually thought when they showed the lady coming in, the weird laugh, I thought it was the psychic chick. It was going to be revealed that it was supposed to be implied that their seance was going to be sex, so they didn't get disturbed. But really, they're going to go and kill the fuck out of these people. But no, she wasn't in on it other than being a fake psychic, of course. But, yeah. It's fine. Kind of wish Shotzi didn't die. She was basically the final girl. Final girl not supposed to die, but then again, she did have sex. So that's the rule. You gotta die. So, the other chick should have been the final girl, or the psychic lady. Although, she could have had sex with the professor before. Sorry, hold on. Come on now. She could have had sex with the professor. We didn't see it, but yeah. This was fine. There's this weird grainy filter on the film throughout the entire film. For life of me, I can't understand why. It just doesn't. I thought I figured it out because there's a grain at the end when they reveal that the professor's in on it. He starts laughing, and then it looks like as if there's another filter as if someone's watching a movie projected on a screen, and I'm like, oh, that's why it's grainy, because this is not real. It's actually something they filmed, and they're gonna cut back to them like clapping. Oh, we did a good job, but no, it just ends and the credits roll. I'm like, oh. I thought they were going to go meta, where this whole thing was just a movie they had filmed in this house. And they were going to clap. And I'm also confused because Jay from Love, Death, and Horror said they would like a sequel with Shotzi coming back, but if she's dead, I don't understand. She's in another movie too, but from what I've seen stills of that movie, she's naked again. And she dies. So, I don't know. But, and regarding the sex scene, not that they needed to or even had to, but when I see a sex scene in a movie, I'm not talking about like softcore porn or hardcore porn. I'm talking about a sophisticated sex scene in a movie. I hate it when because you think, okay, we're gonna have a sex scene, all right, and all they do is just take the top off. It cuts, and goes to something else, and then comes back, and they're just done. Scream is notorious for this. Like they start going, she takes her top off. You don't see anything, and then it cuts, and then when they come back, they're just done putting the clothes on, and that's what it is. And especially this time, like she takes her top off, they cut. They do like someone gets killed or whatever, and they cut back, and they show the guy's ass as he's pulling up his pants, and he's just like, really? Not only do you cut away from the tits, but when you come back, we don't see tits, we see guy at man ass. It's like, who let Mel Gibson in here? You know what I mean? If you're gonna do a sex scene, do a sex scene. Don't tease us with tits and be like, okay, we're gonna cut and we're gonna come back, it's gonna be all done. Do something. And if you're not going to show it, cut back and forth. I thought they were going to do that because they were to cut back and forth. It just, here, even like close-up shots, you don't have to show like the entire bodies. Just imply there's something going on, not just show tits, cut, come back, they're done. I'm just saying, put a little effort into it. This movie is 55 minutes long. You could have had just a little bit more. A little bit more. But as it is, this movie's fine. I'm not going to say it's high class cinema or anything, but give it a watch. It's interesting. I will want to point one last thing though. Doll murder spree. There's no killer dolls in this movie. The only dolls we see are the ones that they step on every once in a while. There's a couple times they step on a doll and it makes this squeaky sound, and that's it. That's it. That's the only dolls we get. So I don't understand. They wear these masks, but they're not really doll masks per se. They're just masks. It's really, the doll aspect really has nothing to do with it. And also regarding the first scene, I thought it was going to play into more. There's someone working for someone else, going in, like the African American guy I mentioned, to find something, looking for some dress, or he finds some jewels that's laying on a bed mattress, and then he's killed. I thought it was going to fit into something, but it just doesn't. It's just there for an opening scene, a cold open. That's it. But as it stands, I'm going to give Doll Murder House a 5 out of 10. It's fine. It's fine. That's all I can say. So what are your thoughts on Doll Murder Spree? I keep saying that. Doll Murder Spree gets a 5. What are your thoughts on Doll Murder Spree? Let me comment below. Should like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. I'm tired, and I'll see you in the next one.